Hi, everybody. Welcome to Teaquilts Live. I just started the broadcast, so I don't have any viewers. A little for some viewers to come in. Hi, welcome. So I got 11 viewers. So welcome, everybody. I don't really have an agenda today, so it's going to be kind of random. I'll just talk about what I'm going to sew on up in this corner here, in the back up here. I have my Quiltville mystery quilt called On Ringo Lake. So I am actually working on parts of that. And here is a full block. It took 50 of these right here. So I have a whole stack of those, and I'm working on the setting triangles to sew them together. So I think you can still go get the instructions if you're interested. The mystery quilt is still up. I'm not sure how much longer it's going to be up, but eventually it will no longer be free for the instructions online. You'll have to pay for it. So, and right here, I am actually paper piecing some corner triangles. I decided to piece mine. Let me just show you a quick photo of how it looks. This is the quilt, and she has a two-piece blue setting triangle. And I saw in the Quiltville group on Facebook that some people had paper piece there, so I thought I would paper piece mine, but I'm using white instead of blue because I felt like the blue was making my quilt very, very dark, and I didn't want that. I'm actually working on quite a few projects. Some of those with you as we get more people in and out of the room, but I thought we could also just do a chat and then share. So I see a lot of things are coming up in the chat box, so let's go ahead and do some. So we got Tracy Ruth. Hi, Tracy. Hi, Sharon. Got HC. Joanna Montreal. Got Cindy from Wisconsin. Welcome back, Joanna. Got Don Stanley. I'm actually doing great today. Funny thing is, I have so many things to do that I don't know what to do first, so I get a little frustrated, and sometimes I just sit and do nothing. So for those days, and then I just did a lot of computer work today. So I didn't do any of my actual quilting or sewing projects, but overall doing good. Just got a lot to do on my agenda. Hi, Peggy. Thank you for coming. Got Laura King and Nicole from Western Australia. Welcome from across the pond. Cindy, I am going to screw your name up. Cindy Garrick. Oh, she says she watches Bonnie Hunter, but she's never done one of her mysteries. We got Jeanette Weatherhead. And Sharon is saying that the Bonnie Hunter's mystery will be available until February 1st. I didn't check that date because I had all of the instructions. So thank you, Sharon, for letting me know. And she was saying some people use AccuQuilt to do Bonnie's mystery. It depended on what parts, because all of the parts AccuQuilt didn't have a die for, so whatever I could cut off of my I did that as well. It saved a lot of time in cutting. And I got Ann S. from Missouri. Hi, Ann. Okay, and Cindy is saying her name is Gurkey, as in key, and I've said Gurk. So it's a 2-syllable pronunciation. Thank you for letting me know. And then Don is from England, United Kingdom. Well, welcome. I appreciate you all coming today to just sit and chat for the most part. So I'll just go ahead and show you I showed you corner triangles. Working on, since I decided to piece these, I cut a lot of 2-inch strips, and they didn't have to all be exactly 2-inch strips, but I wanted them to look like they were all the same. So they're approximately 2-inch strips. So I cut these units here. And then I need to add from Bonnie's piecing instructions my triangle tips. Actually goes on top. So that's currently what I'm working on, but I got all of these cut out, but I decided to go ahead and work on my corners first. So I will be sewing these later. And we're going to be talking about some websites, and I'm going to be asking you to share in the comment section some of your favorite places to get patterns, and then I'm going to actually read those into the video because the chat box doesn't hold the things we put into the chat box, which I don't like. I really wish that it would go into the instructions. I'll share one of the websites because I got this out, and I may cut it if I finish what I'm trying to do here, but I seriously doubt it. I'm an overachiever. I'm always having more to do than what I can do. It's called Simplish, and it's a very easy pattern, and it can be made with layer cakes. And this is a pattern that's on WilmingtonPrints.com. The first thing about fabric manufacturers, this one isn't as bad as some other ones, but basically when they come out with a line and they're giving you a free pattern, is to sell you fabric. So they'll have every piece of fabric in that collection used in that pattern some kind of way. And so you have to figure out how to make it scrappy if you can, or how to substitute your own fabrics into it. Getting patterns from fabric manufacturers, but you do have to be careful. They'll have way more individual pieces per se of fabric listed, and then you start to get a little bit confused with that. So go ahead and start listing in the chat box some of your favorite places or YouTube channels. I have a list of mine. And favorite place to get free patterns online is Moda Bake Shop. The nice thing about it is that in their fabric lines, I like that you can search if you want to do a jelly roll quilt, if you want to do a charm square quilt, or a layer cake quilt, or just a scrappy quilt. Sometimes they do have scrappy projects on the website. So I do love Moda Bake Shop. It's a lot of resources. You can find not just quilting projects, but tote bags, kitchen items, any kind of fabric related thing that you can make on Moda Bake Shop. So that's my favorite. And I'm going to be sewing a little bit as I'm going. Probably won't get much done, but I'll get as much as I can. Other places so I talked about Wilmington Prints. That was where I got the Simplish. We talked about Moda Bake Shop. Of course, you can go to their Mr. B's Preview Club, and they also have free patterns online, and the instructions are written really well. Sometimes you can go to some of the fabric manufacturer sites, and the fabrics are not, the patterns aren't written because of the fact that they're trying to get you to buy a million pieces of fabric. But they're not quite so bad on Benartex. They still do separate out by fabric, but it's easy to collapse it back. On YouTube, of course, we all love Missouri Star Quilt Company. She has a very good library of videos, lists some things that may require you to have some of her templates. And so you have to watch out for that. But, for the most part, you can piece just about any of those quilts online. Another place is Jordan Fabrics. I don't know if it's Jordans with an S Fabrics or if it's just Jordan Fabrics, but it's a YouTube channel. And she does a very good job with these patterns that you can buy. And they also specialize in giving you fabric kits. And I've been told that the prices are reasonable. I haven't purchased anything from there just because I don't need a whole lot of fabrics. And they really specialize first most in batiks. About 2 containers, 2 plastic tubs full of batik, so I don't want to buy anything. But she does have other fabrics as well. Let's see, who else online? I like Mom and Pop Quilt. She posts week now because she does a live and she does something on Wednesday and I think on Saturday, if I'm not mistaken. And one of her days she does machine quilting, and then her other day piecing at her machine. So she has a good variety of things. I actually made my AccuQuilt Go cover from her website. It is so very easy. SCW, very easy, all one word, and that's Laura. I made a couple of things from her. I made a cover for my Singer Featherweight, and then I also made a cover for the actual featherweight case, which was pretty cool. So she's another good site. I'm hoping you all are putting some suggestions in the comment box while I'm going through mine. If you like to knit, and I don't know if she do crochet or not. I don't knit, but I just go in every once in a while and just listen to her. She's very thorough and she has a lot of great projects that she's made. Is Jay's Pearl and Knit, or is it Jay's Knit and Pearl? It's either one of those. Let me check it out. It's Jay's Knit and Pearl Jam, Jam, Jay's Knit and Pearl Jam. And she's very good with her. Gets very detailed. Her videos are pretty long because she's going into a lot of detail on them. I don't know if any of you have ever watched Angela's Midnight Quilt Show. She is a hoot. And when I first started watching her on YouTube, I didn't realize that she would have a sense of humor, but she is so wacky. She's my kind of person. So if you don't know about her, go check out the Midnight Quilt Show. And let's see. Longarm quilting. I do like Whirls and Swirls quilting. She does she tries to put up like a video a day, I think. Or is it 100 videos in a year? I can't remember which one it is, but she has a lot of longarm machine quilting videos. But a lot of those techniques can also be adapted to your home sewing machine. Just because it's on a longarm don't mean you can't sew it on your domestic sewing machine. So it's a very good website as well. And then I like Jamie Walden. He's doing longarm quilting. He has his brand of rulers, but sometimes he makes a lot of videos without his rulers that are just very good technique. He can help you with certain sewing machine issues on your longarm, telling you how to fix tension and things like that. So he's another good website. And of course, I like Gamma website. And then there's one other quilter called Margaret Lewin. It's Margaret Lewin Quilting. And she does a lot on YouTube as well. So those are some of my favorites. If I think of any more, they pop into my head, I'll let you know, and I'll check the comment section in just a moment. So, hi, Sue Gregory from the UK. Got Roxanne Fox from Atlanta. Kathy Hopkins from Ontario, from Southern Ontario. And Sharon is also co-signing Jordan's fabrics on YouTube and for buying fabrics. I haven't purchased any fabrics from her, but they seem like a very down-to-earth, very approachable family business. I wish I lived closer to her. And Cindy Gerke says she gets her paper piecing patterns from Fandom in Stitches, Fandom in Stitches, with the Jennifer Osteen. She has many free. She made up the Harry Potter bookshelf quilt, The Project of Doom. So that's pretty interesting. I read all of the Harry Potter books when they were being published. I was a fan, and I haven't reread them since, so I've forgotten a lot of the stuff in them, but I really enjoyed the process. Got more people saying they love Jordan Fabrics tutorial, love Jenny Doan. So they got Missouri Star. So give me some new ones. Janet Weatherhead says she has done a lot of Jenny Doan's. HC, may I ask you a question? You can ask any kind of question you want in the chat box, and I can tell you whether I can answer it or not. So feel free to do whatever you want in this chat box. Okay, and Sharon's co-signing that they sell the most beautiful fabric and the prices are good. I saw one of Jordan's Fabrics videos where they went to Hoffman's, how they actually store the fabric, how they purchase fabric as a shop owner. And they got so many boats delivered to them. It was ridiculous. I don't even know how they can keep and don't have, but they were very organized. And even with the videotaping, it didn't take away from it. So if you go there, see if you can find a video of them going shopping. I like to see not just them making quilts, but I like to see behind the scene processes sometimes because that gets pretty interesting to me. Duana says she's taking notes. Yes, indeed. That's why I wanted to do this topic, especially for my new people, because go and Motor Bake Shop really is a good place to go. Not because not only do they separate by the type of fabric you want to use, but they also separate by skill level. Hi, Flying Geese 50. After watching one of my videos, they ordered Black Magic from Amazon UK, got it for a great price, will be delivered this week. And I actually happen to have that book right over here because I was working with the Quilter's Patch. And this is the Black Magic book for those that are wondering what it is that she's talking about. In the Quilter's Patch quilt, they had a cat block. And since I don't have a cat, I did not want to make that block. So I substituted a block out of here, my quilt. And so that's where the video that she's talking about. But I'm not going to show you like cutting instructions, but they have all kinds of blocks in here from animals, houses, people, snowmen. So not only do I have the Black Magic book, but I also have Black Magic too. So I really like these because you can do a lot of complicated patterns that would normally be paper piece, more of them in the flip and sew technique. And you're quite welcome, Sue. She's just thanking me for mentioning it. I didn't read that part. And then we got I love I love my two nephews from Charmaine from Illinois wants to learn how to sew. So what can I quilt? Love your videos. Um, if you have never quilted or sewn before, I would recommend doing some kind of string quilts. And I have a lot of videos on string quilts, and that's because if you don't have any direction, don't know what you're doing, aren't as critical until you get to piecing those blocks together. And then by that time, maybe you'll have your 1/4 inch seam down and it won't be so bad when you start to piece those blocks together. Video last week also on the disappearing 9 patch. Those are pretty easy too. Or you can just do a plain 9 patch quilt with a solid block in between. That's called a single Irish chain. So that's pretty simple too. I watch you, Jean True Love. I don't know who that is. Jordan Fabrics and as many as I can get in a night. That was Don. So thanks, Don. HC says I finished a quilt with chevrons and I'm confused about how to quilt it so that it'll look soft and baby like. Any suggestions? This will be my fourth quilt. And I'm assuming HC that you're quilting on a home quilting machine. When I did a lot of quilts on my home sewing machine, I actually just used my serpentine foot. I mean, I used my serpentine stitch and I would use my open toe foot. And it's a pattern that's very tight. It's on most sewing machines, and I'm not sure if it's going to be on your machine, but it's on most of the more newer models of machines from the 2000s on. And I use that, but what I do is I elongate the length. I make the length probably sometimes as long as it will go so that the stitch will stitch out longer instead of being really tight like this. It will stitch out in a nice little gradual curve. And the nice thing about that is when you're stitching across like your rows and seam lines, you don't have to worry about staying in a ditch. Sometimes when you're stitching in a ditch and then you pop out for 2 or 3 stitches, it's very obvious. Whereas if you were never in the ditch in the first place, it looks really cool. And I'm sure I don't have anything in here that has that stitch on it. But that's one thing I could recommend for you to, and it also keeps it soft because you're just going along your rows or columns or seam lines, however much you want to quilt it. And got Cindy. Look on Pinterest for Project of Doom to see the bookshelf quilt. Flying Geese 50 is saying she also loves Jordan fabrics. And Kathy Hopkins saying she loves Quiltville. And that's Bonnie Hunter for those that don't know the new people, but it's quiltville.com. HC says that he saw the video where Mr. Jordan went to Hoffman Fabrics and he wished he could have gone along as well. Me too. It was really interesting. Oh, that's right. We got Quilting Today. Thank you, Tracy Ruth, with Eleanor Burns, and she does seminars on YouTube. And she also watched Jean True Love on YouTube. Now that's one that I'm going to have to write down because I don't know Jean True Love. And that's what today is about, is sharing resources. This pen's gone. Put that one in the trash. Okay, so I got Jean True Love written down. And got Angela Wittenberg. Hi, Angela. She likes Eleanor Burns. Got Linda Fowler. She's from Northern Michigan. I like the sew along with Simply Colorful Fibercast on Friday evenings and the Stitch TV show from Atlanta. Watched either of those. The Simply Colorful Fibercast. And the Stitch TV show. I think I've seen the Stitch TV. Okay, great. HC is just confirming that he has that serpentine stitch. Favorite stitches that is very easy to quilt. So just practice on a piece of practice batting and backing, and you can see how much you want to elongate it. You got choices with that stitch. So just have fun with that, and that will keep that quilt soft, you from having to stitch in that ditch. And they're saying that Jean True Love is pretty new to YouTube and geared more for beginners, but does more complicated things as well. And also just started a quilt along series. So that'll be great for some of my beginners because I have a lot of them asking me if they're beginners, and I don't mind assisting you, but it's great to know that somebody is also on the internet that will help beginners. Got somebody is saying that Donna Jordan also has a tutorial on the drunken quilting, what you just suggested. Drunken drunken quilting. I guess she's talking about the string piecing, but I got quite a few string piecing videos on my channel as well. So we got Janice. She watched Angela Walters, Missouri Star Quilting, Fons and Porters, and Quilting with Free Motion 101 Whirls and Swirls, and then Judy Madison and Nadia Porter. Hard for me to say. I do subscribe to Natalia and Whirls and Swirls. I think I talked about them, but I do subscribe to her. Sometimes you get to some and they're just pushing rulers sometimes. So every ruler, and right now that's what Natalia is doing. She's working with various different rulers. And also Angela Walters is also doing that as well. I got lots of comments, so let me keep going. Thank you, Janet. She said, of course, I watch you and Jordan Fabrics. Got Janet. She says, beautiful Whidbey Island. I also enjoy the Stitch on YouTube. So let me put that one down. I don't think I watched the Stitch foreign sites, but I can't remember the name of them. But it's this one lady that can take anything and make something out of nothing. She takes clothing and makes another piece of clothing out of them. And I'm wondering if that's the Stitch. She does a lot of things, but no patterns. It's just amazing to me. Love, thank you for that. I forgot about her. She used to be real heavy into just die cutting only, but she has really branched out into a lot of things, and now she's just coming out. Marjorie Busby, I found her also through AccuQuilt because of cutting. She does a lot with cutting, but she does some other things as well. She's also a good one. Thank you, Sharon. Sharon's popping them in there. Jean True Love does episodes and a new one called Jean's Blocks. I think we talked about that one. On Point. I like it. It's the name of the YouTube channel, On Point. I've seen that one and I'm subscribed to that one. That one's from Don. He says he likes it as well, but can't remember her name. The Stitch TV is really good. Also, the Quilt Project is very interesting. Love Eleanor. Jean True Love does a lot of projects. 10-inch squares. Thank you very much. And then Miss J.A. Coleman for beginners. The Quilting Machine. No, the Quilting Marine. He uses quilting for his PTSD, so that's his post-traumatic stress disorder or something like that. So we got Miss J.A. Coleman. She's saying the Quilting Marine also does some cooking. Oh, that's pretty cool. I've never heard of the Quilting Marine, and I like to cook and eat and quilt. Quilting Marine. And thinking of guys, we've got, I'm blocking his name. I'm subscribed to him as well, but Rob of Man Sewing as well. He does different types of projects as well. So you never know what he's going to have on his show. It's pretty interesting. And Dewana wanted to know if the Quilting Marine is on YouTube. I'm assuming that it's YouTube. Yes, Miss Coleman says that he is on YouTube. Did anyone watch the Quilt Project on YouTube? It's a reality show with quilt challenges with eliminations. I really enjoyed it. It came out a few months ago, maybe by a quilt shop called Patchwork Plus. No, I did not watch that. I'll put it down and try to find a Quilt Project. Okay. Oh, okay. Don is getting me straight. It's Stitchless TV that I watch that does all the things with the clothing. Thank you so much. So then this one that I wrote down, the Stitch, I may not know about that one. Crafty Gemini is another one that I forgot about. She's really good. She has a lot of different subjects. She's now getting into a lot of where you take the classes from her. So a lot of the things are no longer being free, but very good. She's still a very good YouTuber. And I've been seeing the Crafty Gemini out at some of the big shows like AQS. So she's getting to be a little bit more popular and she's getting out there. She was very popular. She's very popular on YouTube. Now she is very popular on YouTube at AQS the last 2 years that I went. So that was very good to see how she's moving along in her career, in her business. Mm-hmm. Lorena's Quilting is great for quilting. I'm subscribed to her as well. That is a good one. So I just paper pieced just one of these or just finished this one. And you saw me folding the paper back when I'm stitching this stuff because I don't want to pull out these seams. I talk about that in one of my videos as well. And then I've already used this one time and pulled up my one seam. And then I just put some masking tape on it so that I could reuse it again. Use it twice. So that way I only had to cut one square to do my corner pieces. And then I will square this up with the corner I already have. Pick and choose where I put it. So that way I'm not stuck to the paper at this point. Lauren King, I saw your answer to the fat quarter shop, and you are absolutely correct. It was holding your response for review. I guess they thought maybe you were calling me fat. So they held your comment. But the fat quarter shop is an excellent shop. They do different types of block of the months. They have like at least 2 or 3 going on a year. Some of them are completely free. Some of them are charity based where they ask you to do a donation of like $5 per month to some organization. I ordered some things from them as well. So like notions or something like that. Sometimes they come out with some of the newer notions first. So that quarter shop is a very good place. Favorite patterns. When I did the jelly roll quilt, I can't remember what it's called. Jelly roll jam 2. I made quilts for those, and I made a lot of them for charity. And also, it was one that I taught my daughter-in-law how to make for her children. She's in the process of making those. So yes, good one. We almost missed that one. And the Fat Quarter Shop has a YouTube channel, and the actual patterns are on their website, but they give you the links in the video to the actual PDF in the description of the YouTube. For some reason, it's not showing whenever someone types in the Fat Quarter Shop. But yeah, so that one's a good one. Let me see what else I missed up here. Somebody says that Miss Coleman is saying Jerry Calendar. I don't know who he is. He is a quilter on YouTube, and he does some interesting artistic quilts. Down. And part of some of the reason why I don't know some of these people is because as a YouTuber, I don't want to duplicate somebody's actual video. So I try not to watch everybody's video and try to be selective in what I watch. And then if I do like use something or adapt something from that site, I try to give them. So I try not to watch too many videos. And Linda is saying that she just discovered Mom and Pop Quilt Shop Sundays and long arms on Wednesdays. She does. She puts up a video Friday night for Saturday on piecing. Sunday she goes live while she's quilting, and then actually does long arm quilting. She's on 3 days a week. I mean, yeah, she posts a video 3 times a week. Coleman is asking if the quilting project is on YouTube. I think that's what they said up above. I'm hoping that that's correct. If I'm wrong, just correct me. Yeah, Tracy just confirmed that it is on YouTube. I don't know Melody Lane. That's from Dewana. She's recommending her. So that's pretty good. So we got lots of places to go look. And I haven't done any sewing, which I kind of figured. I'm always an overachiever. Okay. We got Leah Day has done it all over the years and recently added a long arm and podcast to her repertoire. Yeah, she's been out for a while. She started out with, well, she got popular to me when she did the 365 days of machine quilting, but I knew of her from Paducah and things like that. Really start following her when she started doing all of those. So yes, Leah Day she's a veteran and doing so much, and she can really design some quilts. She's a very creative quilter. Okay, Jenny Raymond is fun to watch. She's quite quirky and very accomplished. I've heard of that name for some reason, but I'm not really sure. Sometimes I might have people's videos in my news feed, but I don't click on all of them just because of time. And got Junction Fabrics and Cozy Quilts also have great YouTube videos. Yes, you're correct. I do watch both of those. I'm subscribed to both of those. I haven't seen anything come across my news feed in a while though on Cozy Quilts, but they got a huge library of things there. And some of them, they're talking about their patterns, but a lot of them you can just figure out from the YouTube as well. Hi. Okay, just trying to anyone order fabric online. I'm afraid to because of questionable quality. That's from HC. HC, I order a lot of fabric online, and the reason why I order it is it's twofold sometimes. One, because I don't have to pay tax and shipping, so they're going to send it to my door. Sometimes because of price. And I do know that I do a lot of that for my scrap quilting club just because I don't want to have to go out and purchase all the door prizes and things that they get throughout the year online. I order from Hancock's of Paducah, and I mostly just stay with their sale stuff for me. And then some other places online, I've ordered from fabric.com. I've ordered from connectingthreads.com because they have books mostly at 50% off. Say quilting online, they send the books to your home, but I just order online. I'm trying to think where else. You have Erica's Fabrics and Crafts. She's online. I don't order a whole lot now. I'm basically just ordering from my scrap quilting club for the most part. And I know there's pros and cons to ordering online because it does affect your local quilt shops and what, keeping them available to us as well. So I know some people will not like the fact that we order online. And I figured that my local stores can also be online retailers as well. I think that's part of growing any business, and you can't keep your business stagnant if that's your bread and butter. And you see where people are ordering online, then you need to get yourself out there into the online world as well. So I see it from both. Sometimes it's just convenient because you don't want to go out into bad weather or anything like that. But most days you're going to get your mail, rain, sleet, or snow. So I order online. I go into the stores too. I've supported a lot of my local quilt stores. You can tell by my stash on my wall. So it's not like I have not supported them, but it's just options. We have options as quilters, and as business people, we got to figure out how to get to those quilters. And you got Crafties. I've ordered from Crafties for fabric. Thank you, Lauren. I forgot about that. I have ordered from them. They have very good quality fabric as well. Um, and they got Joanne Fabrics. When I talked about Joanne Fabrics in the previous online, but I do buy some fabrics from Joanne. I just make sure that it's more to the better quality. And the same thing goes if I'm in a Walmart and I need something in particular, then I will buy it. I'm not a fabric snob. I know some quilters will not buy anything, but I am just selective about what I buy. I'm laughing at Donna's, who I've been calling Don. She says, chatting to everyone around the world, did you expect to get any sewing done? She's laughing out loud. No, I didn't, but I'm always an overachiever because I didn't want to come here and then sit and not have anything to work on because then I would go really crazy because I am one of those people that multitask for the most part. But that is funny. And Janet says she's addicted to YouTube quilting videos. I sometimes forget to actually get sewing rather than just watching. Now I do tell you that I don't know if you quilters know about this, but have you heard of paint pouring? Up as a recommendation on my sidebar, and I bet you I watched 20 paint pouring videos. And guess what? I actually tried it. I did too. So let me share them with you. This is my first one. Any silicone. So this is just straight paint pouring. And I think what I want to do is get some stain clear polyurethane and put a cover on here, maybe a satin finish, because I don't want it too glossy, but I think it needs to be protected. But this is my first pour. It's called fabric pouring. If you do a search on YouTube, you'll find a slew of videos. And then this is my second one. So first I was going to do another one to match my blue teals and purples that I used over here, but then I decided maybe I want to do, so I did red, yellow, orange, some purple, and then I took the orange. I didn't have orange. I made orange because I had to mix red and yellow because I bought like a little container of tulip paint at Walmart for like $5, and it didn't have orange in there, so I had to make my own orange. And I used some white, but that was fun and that was different. I just did that a couple days ago, so I was like, wow, it's a whole nother world out here. You just be amazed at what's going on. And I'm like, I have wanted to be a painter for a while, but I can't paint, I can't draw. So I even had the boards here thinking I was just going to play with some water paints or something with those canvases. But it was pretty cool to do the paint pours. If you haven't tried that and want just to do something different, it's a great activity. Like if you looking for a group activity, it's pretty fun too. And Donna's saying she's addicted to YouTube quilting as well. And Dewana, you say you tried to make the friendship block and it didn't come out right. Or I'm assuming she's talking about from my video, because I did do that. And I think I used 2-inch finish units where the block was 6-inch finished. And I'm wondering if your 1/4-inch seam is right. So if it didn't come out right because of size, then make sure you check your 1/4-inch seam, and you can just and then use your ruler to place your 1/4-inch line on the seam and see if you're sewing a 1/4-inch seam. If that doesn't work, leave me a comment in any video and I'll see if I can help you. And Miss Coleman is saying she support the stores in the area as well. HC is I'm ready. I'm ready to set up from Joann's to quilt shop. I started buying fabrics at Walmart. He's ready to step up. And that's kind of what I say. I don't tell anybody not to buy fabrics in any one place, because that's where you are. If you can only afford to spend $20 for your fabric, and you need it for your quilt top just so you can quilt, do. I have some Walmart fabrics. I have some Joann fabrics. I had some stuff from years ago, because it takes a while to get out of your stash when you buy a lot of it because it's cheap. Had, and that's what I used, but I still consider myself a quilter, and that's all I had, and that's what I did. So I don't knock anything, and that's how I got my stash, was because I would shop off the clearance tables, but it still had to be pretty. And then I knew when I retired that I wouldn't be buying fabric at the same rate as when I was working. So anybody's fabric, I don't care where it comes from. And some people were saying they get theirs from Hobby Lobby. At one point, you used to go to Hobby Lobby and they had some awesome sales. They still have reasonable prices, and they might put something that's like $7 at 30% off. But I remember a time when you could go to the clearance section in Hobby Lobby and get quality fabrics for like $1 and $1.50 a yard. And I bought a lot. And a lot of that stuff I have put on back. So yes, Hobby Lobby was the one. They don't do those type of fantastic deals like that anymore. And Hancock's fabric, when it was available, used to have clearance tables that were really good. They had a couple times a year where you could go and get a lot of name brand fabrics like Timeless Treasures, Intertax, and Moda fabrics that you could get for a buck or two a yard. And I would buy like 100 yards of fabric at one time, and then I didn't have to buy fabric anymore for a while. Okay, so I got a lot of comments here. So I get batting from Connecting Threads when it's on sale and get enough to get free ship. I love watching YouTube quilters while I sew. I also listen to audiobooks while I sew. Shabby Fabrics has free fabrics too. I have heard of Shabby Fabrics. And hi Vera, she says, got a local store going out of business, sad, but I mostly buy order from Crafty and Missouri Star. And then they say the classes on Crafties is really good. Quilt and watch TV or watch YouTube. I actually quilt and watch TV. For some crazy reason, I had somebody get me interested in TLC, and I just put my TV on TLC. I used to like to watch Lifetime, but that was when they had decent movies, and now everything is a stalker, and I can't be dealing with that and then go to bed, so I don't watch Lifetime too much. So I've been watching TLC for the most part. Even sure what time it is. It's 7:50. Woo, this hour is going by fast. So let me see what else is in this comment section. I guess I got one corner triangle sewed. And see. So Sharon saying I'm having back surgery soon. I will watch a bazillion quilt shows on YouTube or I will lose my mind. So praying for you, pray that you're covered in the blood and that you come out of this well. You have to pray for them physicians as well. Flying Geese 50 is doing a wool block of the month with them. One is them, but she's doing a wool block of the month. And HC say, OMGT, I've been watching those paint pourings too. And I just can't believe how pretty they are. But I think I don't have a torch, of course. I tried using my hot glue gun and that didn't do anything but just push some of the top surface paint to put a little dent in it. But they've been using torches on those paint pourings, and I don't have any silicone. So I need to probably get those or use some Liquitex or something like that to get my paint to move a little better. But I've been having fun with just a little $5 worth of tulip paint that I had. And I already had the canvases here. Had bought them at Walmart on sale with a coupon. So I didn't pay much for those. Somebody listens to audiobooks and podcasts when quilting. That's Linda. Cindy says beautiful tea looks like batik fabric. Yes, it does. And the funny thing is, even my husband liked them, so I was surprised. And of course, he asked me what was I going to do with them, and I have absolutely no idea. You know, I might sign them and give them to somebody. I might give them my mother one or something. But it was just something fun to do. I should have been doing some other things because my schedule is kind of janky right now, but I decided I'm just going to do what I want to do and calm down a little bit. Working on that Bonnie Hunter mystery was time consuming and kind of threw off my other schedule, but I didn't want to get too far behind. Nice job, especially the orange one. I like both, but I'm not a blue fan. Liz, hi Liz. She says, I quilt and love to watch YouTube. I'm new to quilting, but love it. Welcome to the land of quilting crazy. Sorry, T, must go to sleep. It's 1:45 here in the UK. Bye, Sue. We'll see you next time. And Sharon says she'll watch almost anything on YouTube. She even know how to remove a tree stump. That is a bit much. Now, what I have found funny, I fell into, I don't know if the site was called Homestead or if that was the subject was homestead, but these are people that live very minimal, but they are in tiny houses because they live kind of in some trailer homes, but they show you how they cook food, how they camp, they into like dried foods. So that was pretty interesting. I found, you can find some interesting things on YouTube when you just up in the middle of the night and don't have anything else to do. It's interesting. Uh, Dewana says she wish she could send a picture. You could send me a picture of your email it to me at Teaquilts, T-E-A, quilts with an S, at teaquilts.com. The same thing at the front and the beginning. You can send me anything. You can ask me any questions. You can also join my Facebook group, Teaquilts. The video and ask your question there. I can handle it there as well. So you can do it any way you want. Vera says I did the boards with leftover fabric piece and just used masking tape on back to hold in place. Looks cool on my wall. Yes, that would. You get the perfect piece of fabric. It would be gorgeous framed up. So Sharon says she bought shirts from the Salvation Army and cut them up. Only buy almost new, and the biggest the better. And Gee says we shared a site earlier, and she said it's shabby fabrics. I want to make sure because we're going to use this as reference for our YouTube contacts, our links on YouTube, where to go get free patterns, who's doing what, where to buy online. So we got a lot of resources in this video. We want to make sure they're all right. And Donna, bye-bye, Donna. She's saying it's 1:50 a.m. in the morning in the UK. Good night. And Tracy is saying to Sharon, you sound like me. I also had bad luck, but I have bad back, but can't have surgery. So I'm up at night hurting lots of nights and watching lots of YouTube, mostly quilting, gardening, and beading. I think with backs, that's probably one of the worst things is sleeping on it. And that's how we mostly sleep, on our back or sides. And so I can see just being stagnant. Hi, Diane. What are you up to? Oh, she quilt and watch Hallmark. Okay. Um, what was I gonna say? The other channel, I forgot what channel it was. When I said her name and saw it, then I forgot. But I do watch the Hallmark channel every here and there. I like their Saturday movies. I'm a little softy at heart. Good job on those pours. We love watching Anne Marie Ritterhoff doing get great acrylic pours. I'm assuming we just started trying it. That's pretty cool. So, and I think I may have saw somebody with an Anne Marie, but I can't remember any of those people names because I bet you I've watched probably about 30 videos on paint pouring and then just decided to go get paint. I love buying scrubs from thrift stores. You can get some really neat and fun novelty prints for quilting. That's a great idea, Margaret West. Thank you for that idea. I buy fabrics from Hobby Lobby, Walmart, Joann's. T, I love your ideas. Thank you, Liz. I appreciate that. Who never thought to buy old scrubs at thrift stores? They do have a lot of cute fabrics. Thanks for the tip. And Vera wants to know if I'm close to Paducah. I am about a 2-hour, 45-minute drive, almost 3 hours to Paducah. Up for the day and then do all of my running around and then I just come back. So I do it all in one day. So if anyone going to Paducah this year, we can try to plan a meetup for a little bit somewhere. We can talk about that. Let me know if you're interested. I live in Kentucky, never been to Paducah show. How could you live in Kentucky and not go to the Paducah show? Oh my goodness. Oh my. Oh. Bye, HC. It was nice talking to you too. There's a cute YouTube couple called Tiny House Prepper. That is exactly it. And I knew it was more about homesteading, but it wasn't necessarily the name of the show. Thank you, Cindy. And that is exactly it. I don't follow them, but every once in a while I would see something on the sidebar and then I would go see what they were up to. But those are some interesting people. And the man, I think he's retired contractor and he can build anything. They just built a storage shed that also can sleep their extra family when they come. So thank you for the name. Exactly. Thank you so much. Seen them, they're pretty interesting. Tracy saying she finds a lot of clothing, even sheets, stores, and practicing free motion with layers of that instead of investing in more store fabrics, much cheaper. Hi, Stormy. She says, I'm super late, but hello, Miss T. Welcome. You can always go back and watch the video. Mostly, we just been chatting about online resources for the most part. One of our favorite YouTube channels, fabric, online shopping, free pattern sites. So we just got a whole lot of resources in this video. We haven't done any, just about 3 or 4 seams. Diane, I thought, with me retiring that I could focus more on my business, but I'm just having fun. I'm out here on YouTube. I do my quilt lectures and workshops. I'm not doing what I should be doing. I'm not even in pushing long arm machine quilting. If somebody asks me, I'll quilt for them. But for the most part, I'm not out like soliciting or advertising for these things. That whatever falls into my lap, I feel like it was meant for me, and I go from there. So that's where I'm at. I'm laughing at Angela. She says she watched sheep shearing today, and that's the addictions of YouTube. And thank you, Cindy, for coming to my site. I appreciate that. And Kathy wants to know if I have any interest in doing another string quilt along. Possible. I probably need to wait until after I get this quilter's patch done because I am so busy. I can't even do the things that I need to do. See me do. I am very active in my large quilt guild, and then I have a smaller quilt guild that I talk to you about. We meet in each other's homes every month. They're actually coming to my house this weekend. I am a member of the Scrap Quilting Club. Well, not a member. I am the founder of the Scrap Quilting Club. And I do a lot of stuff for them. And January is a bad month for that as well because I'm setting up for the entire year. And then between my lectures and the workshops, and then all of the answering of emails, responding to YouTube information, trying to work on some projects for me that I have to get done so that I can put it into lectures. I just have a whole lot going on right now. And right now, I'm kind of feeling a little overwhelmed, but I know how to just sit down and do nothing as well. I won't get totally stressed out. I'll just stop and whatever doesn't get done won't get done. So it's a possibility we could do another string quilt sew along, just not anytime soon. So, and they were saying that the Tiny House Prepper does a nice Bible study on Tuesdays. And I'm saying comments. I guess you all are talking to other people. So I don't know what's going on. Say Bill from Tiny House Prepper just quit his truck driving. He had been a contractor and Elizabeth taught music. Now they live on YouTube proceeds and dried food sales. That's right. That's that dried food stuff that I was talking about. Isn't it interesting how you talk about something on YouTube and you think nobody know what you're talking about and say, yes, I know exactly what you're talking about. Has nothing to do with quilting. Although Elizabeth, that's how I found her. She was her sister, who's a quilter living in another state. She had went to visit. Her sister gave her this little care package. It has to be pretty small to be stored because they're minimalist. And she was working on the project with her sister, and so that's how I actually found her, and then was interested in how they live. And it's very interesting channel. You're just interested in human nature stuff, which I am, and that's why I'm stuck on a lot of the learning channel stuff, because I'm interested in how people think. So yeah, so and somebody is asking me, Sherry Smith, didn't I get a long arm machine? And I think I just talked about that, but yes, I did get a long arm machine. Actually, it's been 2 years ago this month, but I did not publicize myself as being a long arm machine quilter. I bought the long arm machine because I had over 50 tops and I was sending out my quilts, and I like particular style of quilting. And to get that type of quilting, I was having to pay $200 to $300 per quilt, per bed size quilt, to get them quilted. And I figured if I had 50 quilts times 300, I could just go buy my own long arm machine. And that's exactly what I did. So that's why I really don't advertise long arm. That's not why I purchased it. If somebody asks me, I will do it. I have the time with doing everything else that I'm doing to get heavily lagged with being a long arm machine quilter. So I'm happy with my current clientele. Thank you, Stormy. She's saying that she likes the quilt that's up here on my design wall. That's the Bonnie Hunter's mystery quilt, for those that or don't know exactly what it is. And I've got the blocks here. I'm just working on setting it. That's what I did my three seams on, working on the setting at my three seams for today. We are 6 minutes overtime, but I'm trying to get through them. Last few comments here. And Diane is saying she needs to adapt that attitude, rest when I need to, which I'm doing now. And Cindy is confirming that that's how she found the tiny house prepper too, because she had that one quilting episode. At any other one. Hi, Darlene. We're about at the end. She's saying greetings from Northern Virginia. So, yeah, but this has been pretty interesting. We're actually a few minutes over today. I really don't mind, but I don't want to hold people up that may have other things to do. I'm sure we all got other things to do, but we love quilting anyway. And I think I have gone through the comment section. So what have I got to show for my hour of sewing chat? One corner setting triangle, and I started on the other one. That's it. But I'm okay with that. I had a great time chatting with you all tonight. And it was great to be so interactive instead of me just providing the information. So I appreciate you all doing that with me. And somebody is saying Quilt Roadie, a couple that travels in their RV and films quilt shops, is interesting as well. And Teresa Davison said, I like to know about noise with your long arm. Can your neighbors hear you? I like to quilt at night. If you could talk when you have time. Teresa, if you're living in an apartment, I would say yes, your neighbors can hear you. I live in a house and my neighbors can't hear me, and I'm on a half lot, I'd say. Um, but no, they can't hear my machine. Now, my husband downstairs in the basement in his man cave can hear my machine because it's right over his room. But he says it's not anything that he can't live with. It doesn't disturb him or anything. It just depends on where you live and how close your house is, I guess. And my house to my neighbor's house might be about 30 feet. Maybe it could be a little more. And I mostly quilt at night too. And my husband, if he falls asleep in his man cave, I'll leave him in there. But then if he comes up to the bedroom, then that's right next door. So, but I still sew at night. He sleeps right through it. And Sharon saying, thanks for the hour of your time. Lots of laughs and good info on other quilters to watch. Tawana says she has nothing to do. She doesn't want me to sign off. Uh, okay, let me write down quilt roadie because I see it again. I didn't write it down before. And I just might go in and just check like their video list or something. I don't know if I'll have to watch a lot of these. Like I said, I try not to watch too many YouTubers because to me, I don't want to feel like I'm copying somebody because I got a lot of ideas in my head about videos I want to do, and I just haven't had time to do them. So I don't want to go to somebody else's site and see it, and then it appears that I'm. But I think my next two videos are going to be on. I had a request for packing for a retreat, and so I wanted to do that, but I can't show you a video and then pack all of this stuff up for nothing. Actually have a retreat next weekend. So I will do a video on that. I'll record that sometime next week. And then it'll get out maybe the following week. So it'll take me a little while because I'll be going on retreat right after I do the video. So I'll do that. And then also, I want to do my top 10 notions, the things that I love to use when I'm quilting. And I'll have to record both of those. So those are what I'm planning for some of my next videos. Um, who else? Tracy Rue said, "What a nice chat time to let the dog out." Night all. Good night, Tracy. Thanks for hanging with us. Peggy says, "A lot of great info tonight. I was tempted to leave here. I have been taking down a Christmas tree while listening." Well, thank you so much, Peggy. And good night, Tracy. Lauren King said, "Thank you. Thank you." From Stormy, I've tried quilting for the first time on my machines. That was Darlene. I hope it went well. And if not, you just keep practicing and keep trying. I still got a lot of comments. I'm trying to get through them. If my husband falls asleep in front of the TV and I leave him there as well, laughing out loud. The reason why I leave my husband in his man cave if he falls asleep, because he snores. And I could probably hear it outside. When he falls asleep downstairs in his man cave, I can hear his snoring through the vent system, through the ventilation system. So yeah, I leave him where he is. That's another reason why I'm a night owl. Because if he's snoring, I'll just get up because I can't do it. And Teresa, she says, "I won one of your giveaways, and I'm one of the two people you didn't hear from." So if you won, you need to email me at teaquilts@teaquilts.com. Send you your gift out. Give me your snail mail address, and I will get it into the mail to you. And Darlene saying that her machine quilting was terrible, and it will be the first time. You just got to practice. Now, the main thing is you can make some little dog quilts. The shelter is like 12 by 18-inch rectangles to put in the pens at the kennels. So practice on those. Use some old, god awful, ugly fabrics and practice on those until you get good. It will get better. And I think a lot of it for a first time free motion quilting, you're so stressed that either your hand and feet are not coordinating very well. So just keep trying. I purchased one class on Crafties and it was a long arm. Might have been Angela. I can't remember who it is, but I never finished it. It was on feathers. But you got a lifetime. It never disappears, as long as you have your account and information set up, so you can always go back in and watch the class. So that's a great thing. Good night, Kathy. I have got a lot of information tonight. Thanks all. That was Dewana. Yes, top 10. That's Stormy. So she's voting for that video. I like that block. Good night. See you. Diane. Mila. Good night. That's Killabue. And then I love quilt roadies, and I travel with them on my computer. I go places I know I would never get. Okay, so she's just saying that she's traveling with them via YouTube. um, and Stormy is confirming that her husband snores as well. So okay. So that is it, everybody. So we're gonna go ahead and close off. We're like 15 minutes over time. I do appreciate everyone coming in. I appreciate everybody participating and giving me a long list of places and things in online that I need to check out. So I will see you next week at 7 p.m. Bye bye.